Hi guys, and welcome to another video on my channel LT Racing. This time we are in the Ginetta GT4 car and we're racing at Spa. So as always, I'm going to put in enough fuel in for the complete race, sorry, and we're going to go with hards and see if we can make a one stop. So without further ado, let's jump into it and see what happens. For people that do watch my video, I hope you like the new intro video. That is new and the very first time that I'm rolling out for this video. So like I say, we're in the Ginetta GT4 Cup. We are going at Spa. There's only 4 of us, but what I want to do is use this video to give you guys an update of where I am and what I'll be doing and what the future holds. So at the minute, I'm really enjoying putting out the Forza videos. Contrary to what you might think, I do think that I'm definitely getting better. The racecraft is getting better, the staying on the track is getting better, not crashing. Contrary to what you're seeing on the screen right now, the Audi TT gives us a little bit of an aggressive entry into Raidillon and Aaaaand. But as we go down the Kennel Straight, we will take a lead back. So this video, it's not the full race, so what I've done is I've cut out the boring bits and left in the pretty juicy bits. So the first quarter of the race is pretty good between the top 3, and then kind of dies off a little bit. Nothing happens as we run on our own for a little while, and then I opt to change from a 1-stop to a 2-stop at the end, and that's just to throw on some softs at the end and see if we can see how quick we can go essentially. But so where I am at the moment, like I say, I'm more than happy playing Forza and putting out the Forza videos, but I do feel like I want to mix up the content a little bit and add in a bit more. So what I have done is picked up the G923, so the Logitech True Force steering wheel, and I'm just getting to grips with playing with it. This content that you're seeing at the minute is just still with the Xbox controller, but I do want to be a little bit more into sim racing, as what the channel is all about is getting into sim racing from having nothing. So I did start with the standard Xbox controller, and then I did move up to the Xbox Elite controller, and one of the main reasons for doing that was just to have the flappy pedals on the back to make manual gear changes a whole lot easier. And then my vision going forward is to move across to ACC, start playing more ACC and run that parallel with Forza. So my plan will be to release a video on a Thursday and then release a second video on a Sunday and see where we go from there. One of them being Forza and one of being Assetto Corsa Competizione. So as we come into lap 2 on this one, then the main battling is with Aaaaand. The guy in third sinks, maybe he's a plumber. Yeah, he pretty much drops off and never really comes back into it now, but this guy, it's a pretty good battle as he takes me down the Kennel Straight. He's got a much better exit out of Raidillon and Aaaaand, and manages to hold it as we come into Les Combes. Pretty much a bad drive into the corner for me. And then we follow him round, coming down into Rivage. And at this point, I'm just thinking that maybe he's just going to run away and just drive off into the distance, but managed to keep up within the Expo, not being massively great around the corners by the looks of things. I've not actually driven it myself. The only GT4 car that I currently own is the Ginetta, but potentially if there's more GT4 races in the future, then maybe I'll pick up the Expo, maybe the TTS, and see what they're like to go around the GT4 courses as well. But this was a pretty good battle. I was quite happy with the pace of the car. in terms of PI, this Ginetta is significantly less by about 100 points than the Expo and the TT. But I didn't actually realise that until after the race. Like I say, I only have the Ginetta, so I just pretty much jumped straight in. This is the first time on GT4 for me. But yeah, following through. And then coming up into Blanchimont, just having just generically better speed, I think, better top speed on the Ginetta. The guy was adamant he wasn't letting me past. Didn't leave me enough room, in my opinion. Please come at me if you've got a different opinion, but definitely didn't leave me enough room. I picked up a half-second penalty, which I was a bit annoyed about because I was trying to go through the race without getting any penalties, which is pretty much my aim on every race that I run. But I'm not potentially too worried about winning the races. But I do like to make sure that I race cleanly and consistently, and that's my main focus at the minute. It's all about improvement for me. But then as we come through Radion and Eau Rouge, we just get a better exit on the Expo, and like I say, I think it's got a better top speed on the Ginetta anyway, and we'll take him on the straight, even though he definitely doesn't want me to, moving across to where I am. But yeah, there's going to be big changes going forwards. I have played Assetto Corsa. I actually entered the Moser Challenge on Assetto Corsa and missed the first race, the first week, but I did race on Tuesday at Imola. It was my very first online race competitively on ACC, and I've not actually been racing against AI or anything like that. It's literally just been doing laps to practice, getting a feel for the steering wheel, getting a feel for the dynamics of racing the simulation. And to be honest, it's pretty good. It's definitely realistic, whereas Forza is more, in my opinion, arcadey. It's not got that full simulation feel that Assetto Corsa has. So yeah, that was pretty good, and the footage for that will potentially come. So I have a Quest 3, the VR headset, and I actually did the Moser Challenge race at Imola in the VR headset with the steering wheel, so I've kind of gone from nothing to max immersion, and it was pretty good. Really good, really enjoyed it. But one of the problems it just throws up is how to record the footage. So I've recorded the 1440p output of the VR headset, and what I'm trying to do is improve how that looks. I don't want to upload the raw format, so we'll see if I can get that looking half decent. It's pretty shaky and jerky, but I'll see what I can do and see if I can make it better before I do upload that. But I do want to share the journey with you guys, so I will be looking to upload the ACC formats and the races as well as continuing down the Forza road as well, and see where we can get. But what I do find really difficult is jumping from Forza to ACC, because the way that they play are significantly different. So it is pretty challenging to go from the arcadey kind of, you get away with so much more on Forza, and ACC just doesn't allow you to throw the car around as much as Forza does. It's a lot more realistic for anyone that's not played it. I did try playing ACC with a controller, but that was just a joke essentially. That's a no-go. But yeah, this race around Spa, it was pretty enjoyable, to say there was only 4 of us. And Aaaaand did keep me honest. He was pretty much there for quite a long time, as when I got out the front. I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to keep the front. If anyone's seen any of my previous videos, I usually cock up somewhere, miss my braking point, go completely off the track or whatever, but no, this one's pretty good, but there's a little bit of a twist coming, I think. But I was, so this is the end of lap 4, coming up to the end of lap 4, which is when you might expect people to be having a pit stop if they're doing a 2-stopper. So if you've got the medium, and then medium again. End of lap 4, which is what the guy in P3 does. He jumps into the pit stops now, goes for his first stop, which actually filled me with confidence because, as I say, I was pushing through to lap 6 to do a 1 stop. Got the hards on, tyres look pretty good at the minute, and yeah, I don't know what happened with Aaaaand at the chicane at the end of the lap, but he definitely dropped down to 3 seconds behind. 3-second penalty, sorry, not 3 seconds behind. But then he just quits. I don't know if he quits, gets disconnected. I suspect he's not making any ground and he's not catching me up. And so I think that's probably where he decided that he'd had enough. And so we have a massive gap now with P2 having the pit stop and doing a 2-stop. So we will jump through to the end of lap 6, where I absolutely hashed the pit entry and the chicane, but we'll come in for the 1 stop and throw on another pair of hards, another set of hards, sorry. Having 2 tyres is not going to be enough, I need all 4. So throw hards on. Like I say, I've got enough fuel for the end of the race, and then we'll see what we can do, make it to the end of the race. As I come out of the pit stop, we are going to come out still in P1, so we had enough time, and we are about 4 seconds or so in front, but then essentially as P2 comes around the source, we extend that out to 6 seconds, so got a pretty decent lead. 6 seconds in motor racing is a hefty chunk of time. However, it's only 1 mistake on the corner really, potentially 2, but as anyone that's watched any of my previous videos, it's definitely a thing that could happen. But fast forwarding to lap 10, so the back end of lap 10, this is when I pretty much decided that I have enough time now. So P2's been in for his 2nd stop. I've got definitely a stop in the bank, and so I decide to make a pit stop, and we'll throw on a pair of softs, oh my god, a set of softs, and just essentially see how fast I can go for the end of the race, see if we can get some decent lap times. The tyres are pretty good on the hards. It could have definitely made them last for the last 2 laps. I just missed the wall coming into the pits. That would have been disastrous. Already committed to the pit entry at that point. So we'll throw on the softs, we'll keep the fuel, we've got enough to get to the end of the race. So interestingly, we are 32 seconds in front, I think it was, as we came in to the pit entry. And then as we come out of the pit entry, interestingly, we are going to be still 30 seconds in front. So I don't know what happened, I don't know if it was a massive mistake, but that comes down to sort of 12-13 seconds as he comes into the source. But essentially that is going to be the race. I mean, I've got soft tyres on, I've got a 13-second lead, 2 laps to go, and he's got a 2.7 second penalty as well, as opposed to my 0.7. That was another one, the second penalty, the 0.2 seconds, as they come around the exit of Rivage. got a little bit of a love tap from Aaaaand and pushed me wide, which I was a bit annoyed about, because that's where I picked up a 0.2 second penalty, so that was really annoying. I would like to see a better penalty system in Forza. For me, that's probably one of the biggest gripes that I have with the game at the minute. It's just the penalty system is somewhat bizarre. Can't get my head around it sometimes. But this is the outlook on this off, so that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. They're cold. And essentially the last lap is the pushing lap to see what we can do with the times. One of the things that I will be doing over the next week or so, maybe 2 weeks, see how my confidence goes, is starting to take off the braking line, the driving line. I think I'm now getting to a point where I feel confident enough that I don't need it, definitely on some tracks. It may mean that I have to put in a bit more practice on some of the tracks that are coming up, and maybe plan the races that I'm going to do a little bit better. It's one of the things with ACCs, the Motor Challenge races every Tuesday. I know exactly what track it's going to be a week in advance, well, even weeks and weeks in advance, so I know the next 3 weeks worth of tracks. So it gives me plenty of time to put in some practice and put a lot of time into tuning the car, which I have absolutely zero knowledge about. So it's a massive learning curve for me, trying to pick up what I need to do, what I don't need to do, what I need to change, and basically what all the settings do and how they affect how the car feels. I have got a friend that does a lot of sim racing, so he does help out from time to time to let me know what I need to change, but it's definitely a massive learning curve. But I do enjoy that side of it, like the realism of it, even down to the settings and the brake balances and the tyre pressures and stuff. And I know Forza does it a lot, but I think the player base of Forza is a lot bigger, and there's definitely lots more people that are putting tunes out there, which is what I do use quite regularly. It's not something that I've dipped into myself really to have a look at, but maybe it's something that I will have a look at going forward, especially as I learn more on ACC, which you're forced to do the tunes unless you want to pay for someone else's tunes. But like I saw, I read something online the other day that essentially no esports team is going to put their tunes out there for you to buy, so they're never going to be the best setups available. And with the patches that come out, things change slightly, so a lot of the information out there at the minute is for the old version of ACC, not the new version, where the tyre pressures used to work at a different pressure. Now there's different pressure range where they work, so yeah, there's definitely a lot to learn. But do let me know if you want to see that content, and how you want me to present that. Do you want to do voiceovers? Do you want me to do the chat as I race, or maybe even a live stream? I've toyed around with one live stream, but because the channel's so new and so small, I was essentially just broadcasting to myself. So it may be something that I look to do going forward, especially with the Motor Challenge. I don't see many people that are doing that. So yeah, please drop a comment, drop a like if you like the video, and let me know your thoughts and processes going forward on what you think I should be doing, especially as I transition to ACC. But having said that, Forza is not going away, so I will be playing Forza, continuing just alongside Assetto Corsa Competizione. Anyway, thanks for watching if you got this far, and please drop a like and subscribe, and more importantly drop a comment. Thanks guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.